Hello again. So nice of you to join me. It's always a pleasure to have guests. I sorted through the papers on my table to my left and found several charts of note. The rest of the papers are off the table, so to speak. This first chart concerns the Creste family, which we have talked of in the past. Simon Matthew Creste is the father of Simon Creste, the husband of Anne Genty, and they are the parents of Nicholas Martin Creste, who married Jean Charpentier, the daughter of Marguerite de Magnier, and Jean Charpentier, her second husband. Jean Charpentier, daughter of Marguerite de Magnier, was the younger sister of Jean Charpentier, the mother of Barnaby Gagnon, the husband of Francois Marie Creste, the parents of Pierre Gagnon, who married Renée Madeleine Francois Roger, the daughter of Marion Aubert and Gervais Roger, the son of Sir William Roger V and Marguerite Rolock of Scotland. Thus we see here how the Scottish aptly re-identified themselves as French folk. Perhaps they had Templar relations in their unwrit heritage here. Nicholas Martin Creste, the son of Simon Creste, the son of Simon Matthew Creste, took to wife Jean Charpentier, and 3 children are listed on this chart, albeit one be scribbled out. Jean Creste de Desrosiers and his wife Marguerite Chaudon. So we'll just turn our attention to the younger sister, Marie-Anne Creste, the wife of Matthew Le Barbier, son of Félix Le Barbier. And their son was Martin Le Barbier, husband of Martha Lefebvre, the son of Sergeant Henry Lefebvre and Madeline Duchesne, the grandson of Henri Lefebvre and Marie Juliette Lebar. And the third child of Nicholas Martin Creste and Jean Charpentier, according to this graph, is Adrian Crete, the husband of Denise Barre, the daughter of Marguerite de Montaigu Barre Colonel. We've talked of these invented names before, so perhaps they knew the mother's name is Marguerite. Denise Barre probably mentioned her mother's name being Marguerite, or they knew the mother's name was Marguerite, but here they call her de Montaigu Colonel. You'll see later in time how that name reappears as such is described by me now. Adrian Crete and Denise Barre had 2 children, Marie Castry the wife of Fagnan Francois Pechny, the parents of Francois Pechny and Jacques Boucher, with a star to that name. Of course, we know how important the Boucher or Boucher family is. Raoul Crete de Baril, the sister of Marie Castry, the daughters of Adrien Crete and Denise Barre, were the parents of Julienne Baril, her, the wife of Marin Boucher, or Boucher, with the star. And those are no doubt brothers. That chart was well worth our time together to look at and go over, in so much as please excuse me. We see the Carpentier connection to the Boucher or Boucher bloodline and the Gagnon or Gagnon. I'm really excited by it. I must have had fun making that chart when I did. Too bad I didn't date those the making of such charts. This chart concerns Joseph Amable Desrosiers de Lafreniere, the son of Pierre Desrosiers de Lafreniere, the son of Antoine Desrosiers de Lafreniere, the son of Antoine II Desrosiers, husband of Anne Leneuf de Harrison. We spoke of the Leneuf family a little bit last time. The upper class families here is what we're talking about. Antoine Desrosiers de Lafreniere, son of Antoine II Desrosiers, married Marie Renée Lepelle, sister of Francois Lepelle dit Desmarais, the wife of Martin Pierre Casaubon, son of Jean Casaubon and François Maisonneuve, the daughter of Marie Guimaez and Michel Maisonneuve. The parents of Marie Renée Lepelle and François Lepelle de Desmarais were Jean Girardot and Denis Pierre Lepelle, Sire de la Haye, son of Antoine Lebel and Blanche. What is exciting here is how we see that the son of Martin Pierre Casaubon and François Lepelle de Desmarais, him, Jean-François Casaubon Didier, husband of Marguerite Bressette, were the parents of Geneviève Casaubon de Didier, the wife of Pierre Desrosiers de Lafreniere, whom was son of Marie Renée Lepelle, sister of François Lepelle de Desmarais, the grandmother of Geneviève Casaubon de Didier. So we see how this is common amongst those intertwining roots we mentioned before. Have you ever seen a tree blow in like a hurricane wind? The storm coming, you know, it's going to blow away everything except that which is strongly rooted. Again, here is the or is a you look at some of those earlier French families. Pierre Garamond de Le Picard, the husband of Madeleine, Charlotte de Le Picard, was the son of Pierre Tremblay de Le Picard and Jean Lebray. And Jean Lebray was the daughter of Marie Roulard and Jean-Baptiste Lefebvre Lebray Lefebvre de Lecroix, the son of Jean-Baptiste Lefebvre Lebray and Marguerite Louise Prévost, daughter of Blanche Audet and Martin Prévost. Another important early Quebecois lineage, the family, the Prévost family. Jean-Baptiste Lefebvre Lebray was the son of Sergeant Henri Lefebvre Fille and Marie Duchesne, her the sister of Madeleine, the wife of Henri Dela Houges. Them the parents of Madeleine Dela Houges, wife of Pierre Tremblay, parents of Marguerite Tremblay, wife of Michel Le Villian Père, parents of Marie Le Villian, wife of Henri Le Barbier, daughter of Marthe Lefebvre and Martin Le Barbier, the son of Matthew Le Barbier and Marianne Creste, and the two daughters, Madeleine, they both share the name Madeleine. The daughters of H.D. Houges or Dela Houges and Marie Duchesne are seemingly married into well, you make out of it what you will. I'll hold the chart up again. Again, the H.D. Houges family is quickly come here to mind, but again, it's the same thing we just looked at. Although it's somewhat a leaner chart, having less on it. I'm just taking these off the pile as they come. I'm sorry. Oliver Gagnon, Perche, France, married Antoine Lefebvre dit Descarteau, the sister of Pierre Julien Lefebvre dit Descarteau, first wed to Julien Coulonnier. Thereafter he married Magdalene Lefebvre dit La Douceur, daughter of Etienne Israel, 1540 to 1650, Percy Calvados, Basse Normandy. So that's just a little brick in the wall. And it's one of my favorite pieces of paper. I ran out of the crappy paper and had to dig into my stock of good paper just to make a few notes some time back here. France, Louise Marguerite, Rouen, Saint-Martin, Normandy. Father of Nicolas Marguerite, father of Marshal Thomas Marguerite, St-Mclou de Rouen. Him the father of Francois Marguerite, the Seigneur de la Haye, an ore maker and a merchant thereof, the making of ores. His wife was Marie Marthe Romaine, the daughter of Marie Lefebvre dit Descarteau, the daughter of Marguerite Lassière, the daughter of Marguerite Duarte. Marguerite Duarte was the wife of Jean Lassière, and the daughter Marguerite Lassière was the wife of Johann Lefebvre dit de Catteau. Deputy Départementien Haute Normandy, Rouen. The brother of Francois Marguerite, Seigneur Dela Houges, or maker merchant, was Nicolas, Michel, Guillaume, Jean, Catherine. Oh, 5 children under him. There is also a note scribbled on this paper mentioning Seigneur of the Palace and Castle of Fèvres, server of Baldwin, Count of Hainaut, who was in the First Crusade, 9 generations, circa 1300. So that is the brick of a seneschal and a bourgeois d'arrêt, Normandy, France, and Belgium. Just something to look at and talk about. I'm played out, to tell you the truth, and at the same time kind of excited to see that this tabletop is almost empty. We do have about 2,000 plus graphs to go through, though. So that's about 6.5, 7 months of programs such as these. I hope you're enjoying them. I'm learning a heck of a lot, and I enjoy listening to them myself as well later. It helps me to think and clarify who I am accordingly in regards to whom my ancestors intended I should be. This, again, is one of my favorite pages. It's, you can't see it, but it's not watermarked so much so, but it's a very high quality piece of paper that I've had for about 40 years. I still have a few bits and pieces of old paper. I like to keep them for special letters to special people. Pierre Julien Lefebvre, the husband of Marie Jeanne Coutelot, were the parents of Pierre Michel Lefebvre dit de Catteau, the husband of Jean Noir. She has an extensive Quebecois and French history. Marie Jeanne Coutelot, the wife of Pierre Julien Lefebvre, was the sister of Petronille Leman, the wife of Jean Boucher, the son of Gilles Boucher and Esquinet. The parents of Marie Jeanne Coutelot and Petronille Leman were Pierre Leman and Sebastienne Catteau. Marie Boucher, the daughter of Jean Boucher and Petronille Leman, was the wife of Jean d'Alouin, the son of Philippe d'Alouin, and he was the son of Jean d'Alouin de Halouin. Philippe d'Alouin, the father of Jean d'Alouin, married Marie Esquinet, the daughter of Marie Filippo and Jean Esquinet, and of course they were the parents of Jean d'Alouin, who married Marie Boucher, and their daughter, whose name seems squiggled out here, so it could be not their daughter, Antoine d'Hatouin. We won't read what's scribbled out in black, albeit we can easily see what's writ. There's only a few more left for today. although a couple of them are really big charts. This one has to do with my patrony, Claude Bouchard, dit Le Petit Claude. And Nicole Louise Gagnon, his wife. Them, the parents of Genevieve Bouchard, the wife of Michel Tremblay, the parents of Ursule Tremblay, the wife of Charles Pilot. Their son Francois Bouchard was the husband of Marguerite Lombrette Simard, and their daughter was Marguerite Lombard Simard, whom appears 3 times in my genealogy, my paternal genealogy. And her husband was Francois Bouchard, who also appears 3 times in my paternal genealogy. The brother of Francois Bouchard, Antoine Bouchard Fille, married Marie Duchesne Gagnon. Now, you must excuse me here. There doth seem be some kind of scribbling out errors. For certain, Francois Bouchard and Marguerite Lombrette dit Simard were the parents of Francois Bouchard. Marguerite Lombrette Simard, the wife of Francois Bouchard. Those 2 people appearing in my genealogy 3 times. As Marie Madeleine Bouchard, the mother of Etienne Tremblay. Her husband was Francois Xavier Tremblay. The sister Catherine Bouchard was the wife of André Pierre Tremblay. Then the parents of Marianne Louise Tremblay, whom wed Louis Marie Desrosiers. And the youngest sister being Marie Josephette Bouchard, wife of Pierre Francois Paul Savard, parents of Matthew Savard, husband of Cécile Desbiens. The Desbiens family, again, is mentioned here, whereas Marie-Angélique Desbiens is the wife of Francois Xavier Bouchard, son of Jean-Baptiste Noël Bouchard, and Marie Catherine Tremblay. The children, or the son, Jean-Baptiste Noël Bouchard, the son of Antoine Père Bouchard, and Marie Magdalene Simard dit Lombrette, the daughter of Marie Madeleine Racine and Noel Pierre Lombrette Simard. So I tried to share that with you as best I could, but I did make a few garbled errors. I'm sorry. This is a chart concerning my Bouchard patrimony and the Tremblay Simard Savard connections. Here we see a couple of little graphs concerning relatively few people, and simply put, Pierre Tremblay, Seigneur de Leman, married Marianne Marguerite Madeleine Roussin, the parents of Madeleine Tremblay, the wife of Joseph Marie Gagnon, son of Jean-Philippe Gagnon and Marguerite Drouin. Drouin is an important name, equal, say, to the Gaffard name, whom was involved with the Eucaro family, and them akin on to the Langlois family, were all involved in the transposing of persons from France to the New World. Antoine Bouchard Père is the husband of Marie Marguerite Simard de Lombrette, the daughter of Marie Madeleine Racine and Noel Pierre Lombrette Simard. We see here that Veronica Bernard Gonthier, wife of Etienne III Desbiens, son of Etienne Desbiens Fille and Marie Duchesne Tremblay. So these are three girls, or three little looks into the Lombrette Simard family. This has a little more meat to it. So now that we've ate our potatoes, so to speak, let's Jean-Baptiste Mandeville, the son of Jean-Francois Mandeville, the son of Jean-Baptiste Mandeville, the son of Antoine Mandeville and Charlotte, of unknown origins. Antoine Mandeville and Charlotte of unknown origins were the parents of Jean-Baptiste Mandeville, and his wife was Madeleine, of unknown origins. Their son was Jean-Francois Mandeville, whom wed Francois Mousseau de la Violette, the daughter of Marie Marguerite Savoie, the daughter of Louise Brodeur, the daughter of Angélique Laverge. I know not of her, but she was the wife of Savio Jean Brodeur, the son of Augustin Brodeur and Angélique Brosquet. Now, Louise Brodeur had been married twice and had children twice, in accordance to my genetics. The sister of Marie Marguerite Savoie, the wife of Jacques Mousseau de la Violette Père, the son of Nicolas Mousseau Fille, the son of Nicolas Mousseau Père and Noël Bastard. Her was the daughter of Marc Arnus and Louise Brodeur. A fille Amérière named Marie Marthe en Arnoux, and her wed Pierre Richoum de Petre, son of Simon Richoum, son of Guillaume Richoum and Barbe Bréguin. And Simon Richoum, husband of Catherine Bellois, daughter of Elizabeth Pelissonneau and Jean Belair, was killed by the Mohawks. So we see here the first of our folk killed by the Mohawks. We've talked, say, of Jean Le Valet de Petit Jean, whom was killed by the Iroquois. And mayhaps we had mentioned Antoine Pepin, who was killed by the Sioux. But we've never mentioned the Mohawks yet. And here we see ancestor Simon Richoum was killed by the Mohawks. His granddaughter, Barbe Richoum, was the wife of Pierre Mounier de la Pierre, a soldat of the Cargnan Salieres, son of Bertrand Mounier de la Pierre and Madeleine Guibord. Mathurin Mounier, the brother of Bertrand Mounier de la Pierre, the uncle of Pierre Mounier de la Pierre, the soldat de Cargnan Salieres, married a fille Amérique named François Fafard, daughter of Elizabeth Thibault and Jean Fafard. Again, what a beautiful family to have two filles à marier so closely interrelated together. That is an old Canadian family, and due our respect. Thank God this chart fell into our hands at this moment, thus we might discuss them. So, Jean Fafard also wed Marie Antoinette Leverdier, and their son was Francois Fafard dit Delorme, blacksmith, locksmith, and tool maker, and the king's representative in Detroit, the French king. So once more we have struck gold in finding this chart to discuss our early history. I mean, this is before the Fille à Marie, the Fille à Doroy and the Cargnan Salieres. For we see here in this fourth generation, or this fifth generation, that these soldats Cargnan Salieres are mentioned. Now there's just a couple of left here. Like I said, we got a few big ones to go through. This one's all scribbled out, as you can see, but we're going to look at it anyhow. Mayhap I scribbled it out because I was making notes and whatnot and didn't want to duplicate my efforts. I don't mind duplicating them now here with you. Moreover, because I listen to these myself later and I like to listen to them in a random sequence. Maître Charpentier de Neville, René Dion wed Gabriel Roger, their son Jacques Dion dit Guillon ou Guillon was born about 1649 in Meran, Aunis, France. His wife was Jean Renard dit Lecointe, St-Mclou, Fille de Roy. She was born about 1625, Rouen, Normandy, France, the daughter of Estienne Renard and Marie Louvet of Rouen, France. The brother of Marie Louvet was Jean Louvet. Pierre Dion dit Guillon, born in 1674 in Quebec, was the son of Jacques Dion dit Guillon ou Guillon and Fille de Roy Jean Renard dit Lecointe, St-Mclou. And Pierre Dion dit Guillon was the eldest brother of Ursula Madeleine, whom died before age 2, and Joseph, whom died before age 1. God bless both them souls, those beautiful babies whom died ere they could sprout or flower. Pierre Dion dit Guillon was the husband of Agnes Anne Beaupré de Bonhomme, the daughter of Agnes Morin or Monin, Agnes Morin, the daughter of Noel Morin, and Marie Hélène Desportes. And that is the principal daughter of Quebec. She be the mother of Canada, or of the Canadian family, more so than any other woman in our heritage. Marie Hélène Desportes. mother of Agnes Morin, the widow Nicolas Gaudry de Bourbonnier, whom had wed Ignace Bonhomme, the son of Nicolas Bonhomme, and Marie Gagnon ou Guillon of Facom's Normandie. Again, we remember those children, Ursula Madeleine and Joseph Dion Guillon ou Guillon, whom died, and so young too, which was not uncommon. We've talked to those poor children. This is just a quick look at some of the Tremblay children. Those in my bloodline, the children of Ozanne Achon and Pierre Tremblay père, Michel Tremblay and Geneviève Bouchard, Jean Simard having married Marguerite Tremblay, Louis Pierre Tremblay, a rascal involved in a serial marriage with 4 separate women, 3 of which were contributing to me genetically. And Pierre Tremblay, Seigneur de Eblouement, whom wed Marie Madeleine Marguerite Roussin. On the back is a mention of a note exchange of land under private signature between René de Lavoie and his wife Marguerite Bouchard, and Jean Paiement de La Forest and his wife Marianne. Whatever that means, I just thought I'd throw that in because I like to read what's on the chart in case it comes up later in our discussion. These charts I'm grabbing are mixed up, so we will talk about some of them again. We've seen that there is a squiggling out of things, but that has been explained. So this page here is about 20 some years old, and it deals with the South Branch Exolvide Mercutus families. As you saw, the number 3 is on this page, and that's because it's probably closely related to other pages of this size and nature related to the Dumont and Laframboise families. If we haven't found and talked to those yet, we will soon enough, I reckon. This page hereby begins, or seemeth begins with Pierre Azure, the husband of Marguerite Boyne, the parents of Gabriel Azure, born 1824 Pembina, died before 1880, married before 1848 to Cécile Laframboise, born 1827, Red River Settlement, Northwest Territories, died 1879 in Montana, a widow, age 57. And Cécile Laframboise is the elder sister of Pembina hunter Joseph Narcisse Laframboise, born 1828, Turtle Mountain Reserve, Belcourt, Roulet County, North Dakota, died 1905. Him, the husband of Suzette Josephine Catara, the parents of Patrice Laframboise, born 1871, May 13, baptized the next day. His godparents being William and Sarah Delorme. The elder brother of Cécile Laframboise and Joseph Narcisse Laframboise is Jean-Baptiste Laframboise, born 1826, husband of Angélique Parenteau, or Parenteau. So, we're going to look now at the children of Gabrielle Azure and Cécile Laframboise. Mentioning first Alexander Azure, born 15 September 1848, and him wed a woman named Louise, who died before 1920. Their daughter was Cécile, born 1880, Montana. The second child of Gabriel Azure and his wife Cécile Laframboise was Cécile Azure, born 1850, December 9, Pembina, baptized at Pembina, the godparents being Marie Laframboise and Jean-Baptiste Wilkie. The third child of Gabrielle Azure and Cécile Laframboise was Josephette Laframboise, born 1852, St. James or St. Joseph. She was baptized, I guess, about the age of 6 months, her godparents being Jean J.P. Duplessis and Josephette Catteau, which is to say, her aunt and uncle Joseph Narcisse Laframboise and Suzette Josephine Catara were the grandparents. The fourth child of Gabrielle Azure and Cécile Laframboise also went by the name Laframboise. Patrice Laframboise, Patrice Laframboise was the son of Joseph Narcisse Laframboise and Suzette Josephine Catara. Please excuse that. I'm wearing glasses, blind in one eye, almost. I do make mistakes, but I do correct them immediately. If not, I catch them and correct them later. So, outside of not editing these videos, which we've talked about in the past as shouldst I some way or somehow be rescued from the fate of homelessness awaiting me within 2 years, thence perhaps we can edit these videos or redo them and make them more appealing and maybe excise a lot of the unnecessary stuff and fatten up the real content. Gabrielle Azure, Fille, the son of Gabrielle Azure and Cécile Laframboise, was born 1854, December 17th, Pembina, and baptized thereat 10 days later. His godparents were Pierre Bouchard and Judith Wilkie. He died before 1880. There are other children, but this is one of 3 charts. On this side, we deal with the family of Josephine Allard, who was born about 1845 in Dakota Territory. Her husband is not mentioned, nor are her parents. simply Dakota Territory. Her was the mother of what here is called Native Americans. We begin with Marie Louise Laframboise, her sister Eliza Laframboise, their brother Paul Laframboise, the brother Michel Alfred Laframboise, and the younger sister Veronique Laframboise. So we'll deal a little bit more with what's said of them. Marie Louise Laframboise was born between 1866 and 1867 to 69. She died 10 July 1874, being buried 2 days later, her only 8 years old. Present were Alexandre Latrielle and Raphael Richaud. So we say in our hearts, and I love you to her. Eliza Laframboise was born 1868. The brother Paul Laframboise was born 1872-1873, February 2nd. Baptized the next March on the 18th. The godparents being Alexandre Latrielle and Anne Parenteau. The priest was J.M.J. Lafloche, O.M.I. Michel Alfred Laframboise first wed Elizabeth Mary Norris, born 1877, of Black Mud Creek, the daughter of Anne Sutherland and John Norris Jr. Her died 1900, June 12th. Notice how swiftly and quickly we acquiesce from the buffalo hunting era into the 20th century. It just happens that quick. Michel Alfred Laframboise was born 1874-6 at Pembina County, North Dakota, or Morris, Manitoba. Him born August 26th, him baptized September 10th. He died 1947, August 1, Alberta, Canada. His godparents were Raphael Richaud and Julienne Laframboise. He's buried at La Fonte Catholic Cemetery. He married Marie Duchesne Cargnan, 1902 at St. Albert, and their son was Louis Paul Laframboise, born December 18th, 1908. In green ink, there's this brick added here. Louise Grambois married Josephette Petit de Thomas. Their daughter Mary, born about 1879. We also see that Papatoche de la Tendra married Marie Delia Grumbo. Apparently she died in 1905 and was buried in the Badger MN Cemetery, age 15. Yet she was old enough she was married at age 15. Where she has 3 children listed here, Elizabeth, Laura, and Patrick Norman, whom died a few days after being born. Marie Delia died a couple of days later, so God bless both their souls. Look at that. Let us review her again with more awe. Marie Delia Grumbo married Pat Batoche dit Letenda at the age of 15. She had 2 daughters, Elizabeth and Laura. In 1905, her son Patrick Norman was born and died within a few days. And that woman died a couple of days later and was buried in the Badger, Montana cemetery. So these are whom we are. We may not be directly genetically connected yet. If you go back in our stories, you'll find we all evolved from the same source. Hence, I say we are something unique as a family, for indeed, we are all these different kinds of Euro folk and First Nations folk, and Lord knows how we fought with each other all these 4 or 5 generations now in settling ourselves as a peoples here within our land, which was Canada. So trust to your roots when that storm blows. If you had a strong connection to the soil, you would understand what I mean. Because you too would have at least a little bit of respect for the common tongue, not of animals, but of nature itself. For our First Nations and Mea Cultus heritage instills within us and endows us with unerring love of the soil, or let us put it this way, the soil's unerring love of us, because our blood is so steeped deep within it. No tree of human nature roots as deep as our family. We'll look one more time at this page at an unrelated brick family here, and maybe look on the other side for a moment. We're going to talk again about the Pembina band. We begin with Ned Wells, the father of John Wells, whom wed Marie Houges, the daughter of Antoine Houges. Frank Wells, the son of Jean Wells and Marie Houges, whom was of the Pembina band of Rocky Bay, Chippewa, married Marianne Glado, born 1893, March 12th, died 1979, November 18th. And there's mention here of their children, but you know, these people are alive, so we're not going to mention them. If not alive, then they were living recently. On the verso of this page, there is some kind of fun to look at, eh? It looks like I crossed out a couple of bricks I was sketching. We'll deal with William Goodwin, the father of Marie Adele Orlison. No. We're going to deal with the family of Daniel Orlison and Julien Laframboise, whom were married à la façon de Paz. Now, I don't think we've mentioned that term yet. À la façon de Paz means they were married in the tradition of the wilderness. That is to say, they weren't married at all. Nowadays, you might call it common law marriage. The younger kids will call it shacking up, if they even bother to call it that anymore. But several children are born of their union. Marie Adele Olisson, born 1876, June 26, baptized August 11th that year, was christened by Louis Laframboise. Her godparents were Ambrose Sutherland and Marie Duchesne. Isabelle was born 1880 in Dakota Territory. Amos Olisson, the son, born 1882 May in Bismarck, Burleigh County, Dakota Territory, him marrying Elizabeth, the daughter of William Goodwin. And their children, Francis Olisson, born October 1918, and Marie E. Olisson, born November 19th. Lillian Olisson was born April 1884. William Olisson, born September 1886, Bismarck. His wife was Josephine. Their son was James Olisson, born about 1908. And the youngest child, of course, Frederic Olisson, born December 1888. I wonder how quickly we'll run into the Olisson family again. Especially here when I'm doing research on the Laframboise family. Oh, the first daughter, Marie Adele Olisson, was christened by Louis Laframboise. Julien Laframboise, in 1880, was keeping a house at Burleigh County in Dakota Territory. In 1881, she was recognized during the state census for the city of Bismarck, Burleigh County, Dakota, as head of the house and a laundress. So there's a woman who had to work for her daily bread. And she no doubt was very poor and had to work very hard, while newcomers were settling into nice homes and good jobs all around her. And that is the Laframboise family, which is an incredibly important buffalo hunting family associated with the Dumont family and the Fafard family, and those families go aback. In the 1900s, she was called Julie and was listed as black, being the widow and two sons with William and Frederick. So census takers, were mostly Anglos, and to a great extent didn't like the French-speaking folk. You'll see it later in the censuses of 1900s and on, that 1906 and on, that the same disregard was attended to our ancestors whom came from Eastern Europe, seated there by that North Atlantic Trade Company and Hirsch and his lot. The other land settlers. The land settlers had established themselves well in Prince Albert, especially. The same can be said of what went on prior to the 1869-70 events that happened in the Red River Colony. These land settlers were notorious. You do your research about script, and what was script? It was toilet paper. There is stuff on here that is just all mixed up. I'd love to talk about, because it's so exciting and interesting. This stands out as somewhat sensible, so we'll take a go at it. It involves two siblings, Alan Bakey and Jesse Bakey of Pembina, Dakota Territory. Jesse Bakey, born 1878, 14 July, was the wife of William S. Gilman. They were married 1896 in North Dakota. William, Jesse, their children, and Marie Bakey were in Grant County in 1914. Having moved from Kidder County to Grant County by 1906. Ida Bakey, the daughter of William S. Gilman and Jesse Bakey, was born in Bismarck, Burleigh County, North Dakota, April 1882, and died in Emmons County, having married Joseph Gilman. And their children were Margaret Gilman and Enid Gilman of Clarence, who married Clarence Alley. Of course, the sister of Jesse Bakey, Ellen Bakey, was the wife of Charles Isaiah Corbin, the parents of Florence Corbin, born between October 1894 and 1895, and being a buffalo hunting family. The medicine line divided us as a family. It was one of the first great divisions, which has continued on and is really, really obviously going on now. I see it everywhere, on television commercials, in movies, most notably on the bus. You see how everyone is in their own world, separated from everyone else. Pray to God that we find each other as a family, and if we're going to lose ourselves in passing with these phones, let it be together and make us again a unified family as we have been in the past, because if we don't unify and wrap our arms together, we're going to get blown away by that oncoming storm. And I will here give you a metaphor to think about in closing and in passing for today's lecture. When I was a youngster at St. Mary's Catholic School in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, I was a well-read young man. I had read the Encyclopedia Britannica Junior, which my grandmother had brought into the house ere going to school. Hence, it taught me how to read watching TV, for the children's shows were good enough to teach us how to read back then. My cousins, the other half-breeds, didn't like me because to them I was white, as my Francophone family had renounced their mea cultus heritage because of the troubles growing up in St. Franc and the South Branch in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. You'll find a lot of the old Métis people from Saskatchewan will tell you all about it, and the book Half-Breed is one of the best on the subject. We played a game in the schoolyard together called Red Rover. You link your arms together, and there is a space between the two groupings, one line facing the other line, about 50 to 60 yards betwixt them. Red Rover, we call somebody over and they come running, and their job is to bust through the line, and if they do, they can take one of you back to their side. The game goes on until there's one person left standing alone against everybody else, so to speak. They would hold my arms and come running and doing flying, spinning, reverse kicks at my head and body. I had to fight all the time, and it got worse, and it got worse, and it got worse, and you'll learn about it if it comes up again. One thing I learned, though, years later, in recording these happenings in my thoughts, methinks maybe they were preparing me. They thought me white because my mom was raising me and she was Ukrainian. Her mom was alone, having sired children of two Mayacutis families. Divorce and teepee creeping was pretty prominent back then because our people had been disillusioned by 3 generations of Eastern Europeans, bringing with them further separation of our families until everyone was standing alone, or is standing alone. And today it seemeth that every family beeth alone, and worse yet are the single young mothers and the single young women that are now alone on the streets of a land which Moses would say was no home to him. If you read your Bible, you will know what I am talking about, for he came home and the land had turned into a different land. And ours is now a different land than it was but a short while ago. So, love your relations, love your extended family, love your Canadian heritage. Link your arms together, and ready ye you for the oncoming storm. God bless one and all, and please remember those poor children that passed, whom we discussed in today's lecture.